Okay. Okay. It seems like everything is working. So let's get started. So, good evening. I hope you've had a very nice Christmas party, Christmas celebrations. And yeah, today I'm going back to making a development stream. And again, I'm going to make a neat, cool new feature to add to the game, BossConstructor. And unlike the last two streams, today I'm not going to make a new ship module, but I'm going to make something which will be in the sectors for the player to encounter and explore. And this will be alien artifacts. Now an alien artifact... okay, thank you, Metal Fusion. Let me put it here. Maybe I can make it a bit louder. I hope it's better now. Please tell me if it's okay. Okay, so the alien artifacts will basically sit in the sector, and the player can approach them and can dock with them, just like they can with a jump gate or with a shop. And when they dock, they there will be a random effect triggered by the artifact. For example, the player can get a new module or new gems, or maybe there are negative effects like damage applied to the player ship and so on. So it's going to be a bit of a random chance what happens when the player encounters these artifacts. Okay, graphically, how will it look like? Well, I've already made a rough sketch. So there will basically be a core to the artifact, which will be just like a dark marble or a dark circle. And around this circle there will be some text, maybe, just like in these examples of magical circle images, and these will be rotating around the artifact. So this is my plan for what I will do. Okay, so let's again start by making the graphics. Then I will add it to the map generation process. Then I will add the graphical effects, which is the text which is moving around. I will add the code of the effect, and finally, again, I will deploy it to the Steam servers. Okay, so let's get started. Let's make this thing a little smaller. And this will be our graphics for this. By the way, Metal Fusion, how is your game going? How is Battlefleet Engineer? I wanted to ask you last time, but I sort of missed my chance. I saw your November update, was it, I think? Which was really cool. So how are your plans for next year? Okay, so are you planning to put it on Greenlight or something? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so in case you're wondering what I'm doing here, just like in these magical circles, I'm going to make some weird alien text to go in a circle around the main artifact. And I figured that there are so many writing systems on this planet that look really alien, so I'm just going to borrow some characters from these languages. Okay. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Okay, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, I see. It makes sense. Personally, I found that actually early access is much more critical in a way than greenlight, because when you do greenlight, you do not really have like an obligation to do something, and you are still free to, cancel it if it doesn't work out or whatever. But obviously, as soon as you start early access and as soon as people start paying money for your game, it becomes much more stressful in a way. So basically, the reason why I would advise to start greenlight as soon as possible is just because it can take like a huge amount of time until a game gets greenlit, and it's sort of frustrating to just wait for it when you are, in the phase of really going. So yeah, I guess it makes sense to make some more graphical stuff, just to make the promotion video as cool as possible. And yeah, so I think it would be really cool to have your game on Steam. I think it really deserves to be there. This looks a bit strange. Not yet convinced by the look of this. Well, I guess you're right. I mean, of course, some games really are very, very successful in a short amount of time, but I've read so many articles of people who have used Greenlight and where it took like many months without getting any votes at all until they were finally greenlit, which I think is sort of annoying. Okay, so first I'm going to export the core. I'm not yet sure if I want to add another layer of these these character things. Let me try if I find another alien looking language. Surprisingly many alien looking languages on writing systems on this planet. Not even sure where this is used. Let's use these for the outer circle, whatever this is. To get this thing attached to that. Okay, like this. Whoa. Okay, let's first move this to the correct location. Let's make it bigger. Yeah, well, I'm trying. I'm trying. So if anyone recognizes this language and can tell me if I'm writing something really horrible, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay, nice. This is approximately what I have had in mind. Maybe I can make this white. Oops, not here. This. What? No. This. Okay. And maybe I can make this a little slightly filled. Oops. just like this inner circle thing. Okay, just slightly. I find it really hard sometimes to click on something correctly here. Maybe let's put it to the bottom. Okay, let's leave it like this. First, let's export the inner thingy. Oh, it's annoying. Okay, it's because this text is fixed to this thing. That's stupid. Okay, so let's make it again. Let's bind it to this circle. Okay. Yeah, that's actually what I had in mind. So that's why I'm trying to get these guys out of, to separate these guys, to make them into different files. Okay, almost done. A little bit larger, maybe. Okay, let's make this a little bit. Oops. It's really stupid sometimes. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Put it back here. Perfect. I think. Almost perfect. What's happening? Whoops. That was weird. Okay, good. Now let's export it. Let's make it 250. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Source. Graphics. Artifact center.png. Export. These are centered correctly, otherwise it might look a little bit awkward when they rotate. Okay. Okay, so let's export this as artifact layer 1. Export. And finally artifact layer 2. Nice. Okay, I guess this part is done. So let's import it into the game. And yeah, okay. So what did I call it? Okay, artifact center, artifact layer 1, artifact layer 2. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, as a starting point I'm going to take the jump gate because it already has a similar mechanic. And let's make it artifact. And the base texture is now artifact center. It is always active, and there is some rotation going on. Now I'll have to see how it works out. Okay, so the code which happens in the end when they dock, I have to do later on. Could have hit the layers. I guess. I'm not quite sure how you can hide layers in Inkscape. Is there a tool like this? I'm not sure. I mean, in like GIMP there is a layer view where you can. Oh, okay. Okay, you're right. There's a layer view in Inkscape, okay. So I made this a little bit more complicated than it needed to be. Okay, so okay, but wait a second. Telephone, sorry. Okay, so when you dock with an artifact, there will be an effect, and then it will be destroyed. The effect will be implemented later on. For now, let's just destroy it when we dock with it. And when we render it, okay, we need an icon later on for the minimap. And until now, I'm going to add these two rings to it. So artifact center, artifact layer 1, artifact layer 2. Okay, and for now let's draw these in white in the same size as the original, the core of the thing. And what else do we need in order to see something? Well, we need to add it to the map generation process. Okay, okay. So how do we do it? first of all, let's go to the dump gate and steal some code. Or maybe not. Is it here? Nope. Where's the map generation process? Okay, map spawn, nebula, shops, vending machines, dump gates. Okay, so it's actually rather simple. So we just add artifact here. So just as an explanation, this is basically maps can either be randomly generated or you can specify what will be in a map. For example, how many shops or whatever are in a map. And this function basically tries to read this parameter. And if it cannot read it because it isn't set, you can just set it to the range between 1 and 1. Okay, so let's just spawn a new artifact. I have no idea if this will already work, but we can try it. Hi Stevoid. What am I using to make these pentagrams? You mean this program? This is Inkscape, which is a free vector-based graphical program. And these characters are just random letters from other languages, which I basically copy and pasted from this character table program from Linux. Okay, oops, not this one. Let's see if it works. Where would it be? Okay, what did I forget? Well, transparency. Okay. But other than that, it seems to work, sort of. Surprisingly. Okay, so let's fix this. This time we can make it in a correct way. This is weird. Okay. Okay, so layer 1, layer 2. How does this work? Okay, so how can I assign this to, if I want to have this as the core, how can I assign this guy to another layer? Röhligen Image, okay. Ah. Excellent. Okay. Layer 1. And layer 2. Oops. Okay. Now we only need this guy. Which makes no sense. Wait, what? Okay, so let's try this again. Let's take everything. Let's make a new layer. maybe we can just take this guy and put it in the top layer. Okay, so I guess this works too. This is core now, and this is layer 2. Okay. Okay, so let's not make the same mistake again. Let's make this white. First, let's export the core. Let's export the inner layer. And now let's export the outer layer. Okay, good. There it is. Okay. Okay. So what do I want? Well, first of all, I think the center should be fully opaque. Then I think the rotation effect should be much slower. And it probably also shouldn't be white. Okay. Let's do it. First of all, why isn't it opaque? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the original file is not completely opaque either. Don't know. Maybe it is. Let's see. This is opaque. This is true. That's strange. Okay. The opacity here is not completely set. Okay. So my mistake. Let's do this again. Center. Okay, it should be done. Next, I will make the rotation much slower. Do this 0.5, and we can try to make this other layer rotate in the opposite direction. Try it like this, and also instead of white, what could we use? Let's try this color. Okay, let's try it and compile it. Set the date already. Okay. I think it should match the color of the inner core. This looks really... this doesn't look very good actually. So instead, let's just take the inner color and take the same hue and make a brighter color tone from it. Okay. Good. Other than that, it seems to be working. And the speed is also okay-ish, I guess. Okay, so what is this color? This color is 202. Okay, so what if I make it brighter like this? Okay, 195. I will need to calculate this. So 5.6.05. Okay, 0.05, 0.14, 0.95. Okay, let's try this. The artifact. Let's set the color manually. .75, 0.15, 0.95, and let's make it transparent, 0.6. Okay, let's try it. Actually, wait, I can... okay, so let's see. Yeah. Yeah, actually I sort of like it. Maybe a little bit less saturation on this, I guess. Okay, let's try a little bit less saturation. And maybe we can also make it a little bit smaller. Okay, saturation, which would be like this, I guess. 175 or 256, 256. 0.7, 0.3, 0.8. 0.7, 0.3, 0.8. Okay. Metal Fusion, if you're here, I can show you this thing which might be of interest to you. This is actually the Steam Greenlight statistics for BossConstructor about June this year. And yeah, as you can see, there's this huge peak in the beginning, which is, I think, fairly typical of all the how do you call it, all the Greenlight projects. And then there's this huge drop off and it's practically dead forever. And you know what I've taken away from this is it makes really no sense why it was greenlit here and it not here or whatever. And this is why I just think it might make sense to put this on really early, so that it might get greenlit at some point. I've actually no idea what the logic is behind this greenlight process, or behind the way Valve decides when to greenlight a project and when not. Well, I don't know. White with colored drop shadow would look cool. You mean a drop shadow on the text? Yeah. Let's try it. Okay, let's try a drop shadow. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, this is pretty much the trade-off which you're just trying to somehow guess as a developer. You know, what is the perfect point in time, the perfect state of the game at which you should show it. I mean, from all the developers I've spoken with so far, nobody really knows. We're all just guessing at what we are doing because this whole greenlight process is just so opaque and it's so hard to estimate the reaction of the community, and I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to try is to make a little glow effect here. Actually, the shadow cannot be colored here, so I guess I have to use the glow effect. What is this? What? No. How do I do it? I guess a simple glow effect would be cool anyway. So let's just make a glow effect. Like this. Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's export it as layer 2. Yeah, I think it does look better. A little shadow. Layer 1 export. Okay. Is it? Okay. Ah, I forgot it again. Okay, but otherwise I think it's perfect. Okay. Yep. Okay. So let me just do this again. Okay, while we're at it, we can also add an icon for the minimap of these guys. So, what did I use for this? Icon asteroids, icon cargo, icon trade. Okay, let's open the trade icon and adapt it. Artifact, okay. Okay, this is the icon for the trade station. So instead I'm going to just make a question mark. This will be the icon for the artifact. So let's make it bigger, much bigger. Let's use the font of the other elements in the game. And font, okay. Okay. Let's make it really big. Okay. Okay, this should be sufficient. Let's make it white. Let's export it as icon artifact. Fine. Okay, so this is going to be icon artifact. And that should be it. So now the graphics should be correct. It should have a sweet halo effect, and there should be an icon on the minimap which we can use to find it. Okay. Okay, here it is. Nice. I guess it could be a little bit smaller. It could also be a little bit more bold when compared to that thing over here. Let's see if I can make it bold somehow. Oops, it's the wrong one. Why do I not have a bold version of this? Sort of annoying. There should be a bold version of it, but I don't know where it is. Okay, for now let's leave it like this and make it a little bit smaller. Okay, edit to map generation is done. Graphical effects are also done. Now we're going to add some effects. So regardless of what the actual effect is, I want there to be a little shockwave, which pushes everything aside, and a little explosion when this artifact is docked and destroyed. So explosion. Where do I have some explosions? Here. Okay, world, a new explosion. Okay, this should work. World, new explosion world. I think this is the size of the explosion, and this should be the coordinates of the explosion. Okay, that should be that. I think we don't need that. And we need a shockwave. 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 This position. Okay, like this. Okay, so now when we dock on the artifact, it should explode and there should be a shockwave. Let's try it. What did I do? Okay. So, okay, let's try it. Okay, so it's shown on the minimap. You can fly there. Okay, that actually worked. I think there should be a sound besides just disappearing. Okay, there could be a camera shake, and actually I think the explosion sound should be triggered by making an explosion. Yes, it actually is. It should also automatically shake, so that should already be done. So instead we can just add multiple explosions. So 5 times. Add this explosion, and let's add some Gaussian error times 3. This should add multiple explosions, and each explosion should produce a little shake effect. Okay, we can also add multiple shockwaves, because I feel like this shockwave is not very strong. Or we could also just make this shockwave stronger. Okay, let's make it stronger. What is it called? Push force. Okay. Multiply this push force with 5, for example. And let's see how it works. Friendship helping us out. Nice. So let's dock here. Yeah. Actually, that felt nice. It was a nice big shockwave. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now we just need to create some effect code. Okay. So how do we do it? Okay, so we're making a list of different effects that can occur. Okay. Like this. And now we just add different possible effects. Each effect is defined by a function which will be executed when this effect is triggered. And in the end, we just choose a random effect and to execute it like this. That should be it. Okay, let's begin with something simple. Which is creating some OR. We can just take this code from the asteroid where it should already be implemented. Yep. I mean here. Okay, gem.spawn and in the position. Okay, that should work. So let's just spawn 5 gems. Or let's make it 15 ore crystals. Speed should be 0. And the rest should already work. I just need to edit. Thank you, Metal Fusion. Yeah, I think Lambda functions are really useful. It's just that the way it was implemented in Java previously is just so cumbersome and so annoying that most people didn't even bother to think about using them. But especially for a UI program, I use it a lot. Okay, let's try it. So now, when I use the artifact, there should be 15 ore crystals popping out. Yes, it worked. Nice, it worked. It worked, okay. So let's add some more functions. This can be simplified a bit. Next, let's add some modules. So we spawn 3 completely random modules, and we can steal this code here. Okay, we just add a flying module. It will automatically be a random module. Okay, nice. How does it work? Okay, it already takes a random module and adds a random attribute. Nice. Replace the loading animation. What would you suggest as a fitting animation for an artifact being scanned or explored? Or spin faster, faster pulsate? Okay. Yeah, I guess we could do it. How would I make it spin faster? Okay, so this is where the rotation is done, and we have this part where the dock time is calculated. It takes 3 seconds. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Maybe see how it looks. So now it should just be spinning much faster the longer we dock at the artifact. Okay. Oh, I've got another idea how to do it. Let's test it. I will also make the color of the icon different. Okay, so it did speed up a bit, but it was not quite as I had in mind. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. There will still be the base loading animation, as you call it, for the artifact, but now the speed of the rings should be much faster. It could look really cool. Let's see. Okay, nice. It's a little bit too fast now, but yeah. pretty nice. Okay, so let's use the same color for the icon as we use for the rings of the artifact. Can make these rings a little bit brighter, I think. And let's add some more effects. So basically I want there to be both positive and negative effects. So one negative effect would be that the artifact acts like a mine. Okay, let's do it. Let's see if this works. Okay. Das should work. Yeah, it should work. This should work. Okay, let's test it. Okay, this does not work. Basically, I want these artifacts to be like these shrines in the original Diablo game, where most effects were sort of positive, but there were also really negative effects. And I'm probably going to add artifact effects over time. But for now, I will just try to add some simple negative effects. Okay, let's see how the mine works. Should be pretty... Whoa! Well, that seems a bit too strong. And that would be an insta-death. Mine. Okay, so we need to reduce the damage of the fireball, which is emitted by this. Okay, so upfront damage. Okay, so let's divide damage by 3 or by 5. Yeah, I guess you're right. Throwing effect can be pretty serious, but unlike the mine, this shockwave effect always occurs. So basically, the player can take it into account and only use it when he is safe. Okay. Those asteroids. I guess it's a little bit too strong still. So let's make it divided by 10. I mean, it shouldn't kill you. I mean, that would be really mean. But I guess if you're really unlucky and it hits your command center all at once, it still might. But in a way, it's part of the excitement, I think. So the player has to, you know, think about whether he really wants to approach the artifact or not. Oh. Let's try it again. Yeah, I guess that is about okay. It damaged my modules here, but it wasn't like super strong. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can make it a little bit stronger, like divide it by 8. Okay, then I wanted to make the icon a little bit brighter. Okay, done. I guess I want things to be a little bit more opaque still. So let's try run. And finally, that's okay. Okay, so let me add a few more effects. So what else could happen? Okay, one thing I had in mind is that it takes a random module from the player's inventory and adds a unique legendary attribute to it. Okay, so player ship equals null and player ship inventory not equals null and player ship inventory is not empty. Okay, in that case, make a new function L improve. And what will happen is we take a random module from this from the player ship's inventory, and we add a random attribute. Let's see how this function looks like. Add attribute, and we just add the quality. Okay. since this is supposed to be really strong, we're going to use the legendary attribute. Okay. That should be really nice. Okay, let's test it. Wait a second. Whoops. Damn. Damn. I've built an error into my working build. These elements are missing. Oh, this is really stupid. Should have tested it a bit more. Oh, and these are also gone. Okay, first things first. Let's try this. Okay, it worked. Anti-graph light. Nice. Nice. Okay. But I really need to fix this bug, actually. This is actually totally, completely unacceptable. So basically all the UI elements are no longer here. Okay. Let's have a look at the log file. Nothing here. Okay, this is pretty much done. So activate this. Really strange. Why does it only affect this game mode and not the others? Why does it work everywhere else and only not here? Okay. So is it related to the galaxy map? Let's test it. I'm sorry that you guys have to witness my shoddy bug fixing and bug searching routine, but I really need to fix this bug before I deploy it to Steam. Okay, it's because of the galaxy map. So the galaxy map does something which conflicts with everything else. It's probably related to this. Do I even need this? Actually, I'm not sure if I need this. Okay. So let's try this. What else could it be? So basically, with my last patch, I fixed a matrix stacking error, and this was a really strange error because it happened only on some PCs and it wasn't very consistent. But what I found out was that it can only stack the projection matrix 2 times. At least that's the minimum which is guaranteed by graphics cards implementing the OpenGL standard. But well, the graphics card which I used allowed it much more times than 2, so the error didn't occur here. But it occurred for some people, and these people were not able to see background images, for example, or had some other issues. So this is why I changed the stacking procedure, but as it seems, it had some unintended side effects. Okay, so this was not a mistake. Okay. I think I see the mistake. Okay, I think the error is that at the end of the map rendering process, it translates and scales the view in order to render the ship, the player ship. And maybe previously it had reset the rendering matrix after each operation. Okay, so maybe I just need to push it at this point. We just make sure. Okay, this is in the rendering procedure, and the rendering procedure should be in the model view matrix, which should work. Okay. Are you also using OpenGL Metal Fusion, or are you using DirectX, Direct3D? Yes, that was the bug. Nice. Nice. Okay. So I guess I should test if it occurs in some other modes too. AI battle seems to work. Okay, DirectX 9. Okay. Oh. Okay. This should be okay. So also seems to be okay. Credits okay. Okay. So basically that should be it. Now let's package everything. Let's make the change log and the inner artifacts on the live stream. Good. Okay, so let me deploy it. And let me also write something on the store page. Okay, you're using XNA API. Okay, actually. Okay. So for me, basically, I'm using Linux most of the time. So personally, I always wanted to use a platform which supports, Linux. But honestly, from a marketing perspective, it doesn't really make so much sense because the Linux market is still so small, so it's perfectly fine to use the Windows API. XNA, let me look it up. I haven't used it so far. I have used a lot of DirectX in the past. X framework. Okay. So can you deploy it to Xbox and Windows Phone using it? Am I right in assuming this? Okay. Okay, so I guess it makes sense. It's a dying tech. Is it a dying tech? Is it abandoned by... Oh, okay. It's no longer actively being developed. Okay. It's not supported on the new mid-range. Ah, okay. Ah, it's too bad. It's too bad. Mono game. Okay. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so let me test if the new version is correctly deployed. And that will be pretty much it for today's stream, I think. Okay, I guess I will... a lot of bugs have been reported. Let's look at these next. Okay, it's downloading. It's just a framework. Okay. I see it. Okay, deployment has worked and the new version is running correctly again. Okay, good. Okay, so I guess I will end the stream at this point. I'll go to the forums and discuss a bit, I guess. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Have a good evening, have a good week. And yeah, if you like Metal Fusion, you can be the one to stream next. I will definitely join you, and I'll be, yeah, I'm interested to see how Battlefleet Engineer makes progress. Okay, have a nice evening.